Look, anyone can use AI to write a bit of code, but using it well, that is a whole different ballgame. So in the next 5 minutes, we're going to break down the key skills that separate the amateurs from the pros, the skills that turn you from a simple user into an expert AI conductor. Let's get right into it.
Think of this like we're building a pyramid of knowledge. We'll start at the bottom with the absolute basics, who or what is actually doing the work. Then we'll build on that, covering how to give great instructions, mastering the one skill that matters more than anything else, adding some advanced tools to your belt, and finally completely rethinking what it means to be a developer today.
Okay, first things first, let's get clear on who's actually on your team. It's really tempting to think of the AI as just one single thing, but in reality, there are two very distinct players in this game. And trust me, getting this distinction right is step one to using these tools like a pro.
The best way to think about this is a classic division of labor. You've got the agent, that's your local assistant, your hands-on tool that lives right there on your computer. And then you have the model. That's the super powerful brain in the cloud that the agent calls up for the heavy lifting. Let's dig into what each one actually does.
The agent, this is what saves you from that soul-crushing old-school copy-pasting from a chatbot into your editor. It's the bridge, you know? It connects the AI's intelligence directly to your actual project files, letting it read your code and apply changes for you.
Now here's the part that's so important to grasp. The model itself is completely sandboxed. It's just an incredibly powerful text processing machine sitting on a server somewhere. It literally cannot read your local files or run any commands. It depends completely on the agent to be its eyes and hands on your project.
All right, so now that we know who the players are, how do we actually give them good instructions? This is where we level up from just asking simple questions and really start crafting professional-grade prompts.
So many developers fall into this trap. They think prompting is just typing a question into a chat box. But for real, serious development work, a prompt is a complete package. It's a carefully assembled bundle of information designed to get a very precise result. And every single time you hit send, your request is built from these three parts. First, the system prompt, which gives the AI its role or mindset. Second, the environment details, which give it awareness of your project. And third, the task. That's your specific command.
Let's break that down. The system prompt sets the AI's persona. Is it a senior dev or just a helpful assistant? The environment details give it that high-level project awareness. And then there's your task, your direct instruction. But here's the pro tip. When you reference a file in your task using that @ symbol, the agent literally stuffs that file's entire content right into the prompt. The model gets perfect instant context. It's a game changer.
Okay, listen up, because we have arrived at the most critical section of this entire explainer. Seriously, if you remember only one thing, make it this. This is the skill that truly separates the novices from the experts. This is the million-dollar question, right? And the answer has nothing to do with the model getting tired. It has everything to do with the context you're feeding it.
I want you to think of the context window as the model's workbench. It's got a limited amount of space. And here's the kicker. Every single time you send a message, the entire conversation history, every prompt, every file, every response has to get packed back onto that workbench before the AI can even start to think.
And as that workbench gets more and more cluttered, you can see what happens. The cost of every single new request just skyrockets. Why? Well, because you were paying to resend and reprocess that entire messy history every single time.
This leads to something we call context poisoning. It's exactly what it sounds like. If your conversation history is filled with outdated code, old errors, or files that just aren't relevant anymore, the model is going to get confused. Its performance plummets, and it starts making dumb mistakes.
So the solution is to actively manage that workbench. The best AI-assisted developers are what we call context engineers. They don't have these long, rambling conversations. No way. They treat each new job as a clean slate, starting a new task to make sure the context is always tight, focused, and efficient. So once you've truly mastered context, that's when you can start to supercharge your assistant. This is all about picking the right brain for the job and even giving your AI entirely new powers.
A key thing to remember is you are not locked into one model. You have options. You can pick a cutting-edge proprietary model when you're tackling a really gnarly problem, or you can switch to a faster, cheaper provider for your more routine, day-to-day tasks. It's all about using the right tool for the job.
And then there's this really cool thing called MCP, or Model Context Protocol. The simplest way to think about it is like a universal adapter for your AI. It's an open standard that lets any service out there create a kind of plugin that any agent can understand and use.
And this is where it gets incredibly powerful. Take GitHub, for example. You install their MCP server and bam, your agent suddenly tells the AI model about a bunch of new GitHub tools it knows how to use. The AI now understands how to do things like create issues. You can just ask it, create a GitHub issue to update dependencies, and it will just do it. It's not just writing code anymore. It's a true teammate.
Okay, let's pull all this together and look at the big picture. After learning all this, agents, prompts, context, tools, what does it actually mean for your job as a developer?
The old way of thinking about this is that you're just giving orders to a machine, like a junior developer. But that's not what's happening here at all. The new way of working, it's a completely different mindset. It's about becoming a conductor. You're not just playing one instrument anymore. You are skillfully orchestrating this whole complex system of agents, models, contexts, and tools to produce an amazing result. Your most valuable skill is shifting from just writing lines of code to conducting this entire symphony.
And that's really the question to ask yourself. Are you just a coder telling a machine what to type, or are you becoming an AI conductor, leading an entire orchestra of these powerful new tools? Because mastering these principles, well, that's what's going to define the most productive developers moving forward. The choice is yours.